I'm finally doing it, guys, a vocal mixing tutorial.
Traptendo.
So in this video, I'm going to show you some audio plugins, of course, that are going to be very simple to use, but very professional and will achieve that type of sound that you want out of your vocal performance. You can use these either at home or you can use these in a professional studio. You'll find that they'll be very efficient no matter where you're at. Of course, there will be a link in the description that will give you an extra 10% off, and it will help support this channel at no additional cost, but it will help us. So we do appreciate it over here at Traptendo. We need all the support we can get, and I hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment below, ask me any extra questions for further videos, and I will get to them. So let's do this. I'm gonna play this track from the beginning. I produced the track, of course, and the hook is written and performed by Chicago Rob and Clenz. So please use studio monitors or headphones to listen. Thank you so much. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Whatever you want, just run it by me, Whatever you need, lay that to a G, cause you got that whipper, 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 you got that whipper. Whatever you want, just run it by me, Whatever you need, lay that to a G, cause you got that whipper, you got that whipper, cause you got that whipper, you got that whipper, cause you got that whipper, you got that whipper, cause you got that whipper, you got that whipper. Whatever you want, just run it by me.
One of the more important things I want to talk about is the arrangement of your effects for your vocal chain, which probably is the most important thing to start off with. And you usually want to start off with your noise gate first, because you want to clean up all of the unnatural stuff that you don't want in your vocals. The next thing that you will want to do is get rid of the sibilance. So I'm using the De-esser in this instance here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the De-esser is nice and bright and in your face. Last but not least, I follow up with some compression of some type, and that's where the Voicecentrics come in, because it allows you to increase the intensity here of the vocals. So this is catered to like compression and a doubler and a reverb. And the doubler is very important too, because it helps thicken the vocals there. So that is what the job of the doubler is. So let's hear that in tandem.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G, cause you got that whipper pill, cause you got that whipper pill, cause you got that whipper pill, cause you got that whipper pill. Whatever you want.
So I'm gonna turn off the doubler so you can hear what it does.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G, cause you got that whipper pill, cause you got that whipper pill, cause you got that whipper pill, cause you got that whipper pill.
So as you can see, the doubler more than thickens the vocals, so that, you know, there's a better chance of you being able to hear that when all the track is together. So I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it without the doubler first in the whole entire track, and then I'm going to play with the doubler. So let me take the doubler out.
Whatever you want, just run it by me, Whatever you need, lay that to a G, cause you got that whipper, 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 you got that whipper. Whatever you want, just run it by me, Whatever you need, lay that to a G,
Now I'm going to play it with the doubler.
Just run it by me, Whatever you need, lay that to a G, cause you got that whipper, you got that whipper, cause you got that whipper, you got that whipper, cause you got that whipper, you got that whipper, cause you got that whipper, you got that whipper.
So the first thing we're going to look at is Chicago Rob's main vocal, and we're going to hear everything being processed so you'll understand, and I'll break it down.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G, cause you got that whipper pill, cause you got that whipper pill.
As you can see, I'm using a noise gate, a de-esser, and I'm finishing it off with Voicecentric, which is a really strong tool. So we're going to start with the obvious one right here, and that will be the noise gate. Now, with this, we was recording in the exact same room, and that means that there was a lot of noise going on. Even if it was somebody smacking their lips or something, it was a lot going on. So I'm going to go ahead and solo that, and I'm going to show you again how to noise gate.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal.
So you can hear there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that I do not want in the vocal here. And the Rvox is really good at eliminating a lot of noise in the background as well as compressing stuff. But I'm just using it as a noise gate. So basically what you want to do is just listen to what you want to take out. And I don't like that echo in the vocal. I don't like the fact that you can hear a piece of the beat which would overlap and throw off that part of the mix. So
whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. 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 Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal.
And as you can see, just by just rolling this up or just boosting the gate, I'm able to eliminate some of that extra stuff out of there. Let's hear that again.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal.
So the next thing I want to do is get rid of some of that semblance in his voice. There's like some breathing that just brings like S-ing out. So this next one right here is Scheps Omni Channel. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my B. So also you have two sides of a waist plugin you can use at any point, which is like your A side and your B side if you want to compare and contrast, which comes in handy. So, but we're going to look at this right here because this is the de-essing channel on the Scheps Omni Channel. So I'm going to use that to get rid of some semblance.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. 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 Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal.
Now I was being extreme with it so that you can hear that you can get rid of too much semblance. But what you want to do here in this instance is just listen to the semblance, and you can do that by soloing it.
Cause you got that whip appeal.
And you also can press Control and then drag in here.
Whatever you want. Just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal.
Now, I don't want to kill the overall performance. I just want the semblance out of it. And that's all I'm using the Omni Channel for. You can also use any type of de-esser of any type. There is an easier de-esser by Waves. I just did not get it because I have the Omni Channel. Last but not least, we have Wells Voicecentric, which is another simple and great tool to use on vocals. What it is a doubler. It has a reverb and a delay, and it also does some of the compression with this intensity knob. One thing that you want to pay attention to on this is your input level. So of course it tells you your input levels if things are coming in too hot. So let's go ahead and hear that.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal.
Now, I know it sounds funny that I would use a reverb on some vocals or whatnot. A good reverb or delay, some people like delay, I just like the reverb, can help with bringing out the presence in the vocals. With this input level, you're supposed to read it like this. So if it's green, that means that it's good. Orange is optimal. Red, of course, means that it is bad. So make sure that you watch the intensity level, watch what you do with the input.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. 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 Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal. Cause you got that whip appeal.
And of course, I just was over exaggerating the intensity. Of course, with the intensity, what it is doing is compressing. So you got to be careful about how much you compress. If you notice, my vocals are never louder than my snare. I usually try to keep the snare and the vocals in the same pocket. All right, so let's talk about Clenz vocals here. I'm going to go to his main, and we're going to check out some of the stuff that we have here. It's pretty much the same stuff. Rvox, of course, to block out some of that extra noise that's in the track. So I'm going to go ahead and let you hear that extra noise that he has in his voice.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, leave that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. 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 Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need.
So with that, I'm just making sure that, you know, I don't have too much reverb because I don't want to cloud up the mix. If you do use a lot of reverb, like on every part of your vocals, it will cloud up your mix. So you want to be very careful about that. We already have two artists performing on the same track. So you got to be mindful not to stack up the reverb.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, leave that to a G.
So let's go ahead and play that with the music.
Whatever you want, just run it by me, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal, cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal, cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal, cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal. Whatever you want, just run it by me, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal, cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal.
There is some singing parts that are in this track, and let's go ahead and highlight that and play it.
Whatever you want, whatever you need, you got that whip appeal. You've got that whip appeal.
So with this, I used a Waves tune real time. I did take down the speed, of course, and then I made sure that I selected a melodic minor. You have a whole bunch of scales that you can pick, so that means that it's pretty flexible for if you want to use this for pitch correction on vocals. And of course, the more speed that you have in there, the less the effect will happen. But if I was to take down the note transition and speed out, you would get more of that traditional auto tune, which wasn't what I was looking for in this song.
Whatever you want, whatever you need, you got that whip appeal. You've got that whip appeal.
So with that, of course, again, you know, you can pick out your scale and you can pick out what this was in. So the track was written in a F minor. So what I did was I selected an F minor in here. If you really wanted to, you can select some vibrato and you can play with that.
Whatever you want, whatever you need, you got that whip appeal. You've got that whip appeal.
So you can add a little bit more shaky voice, I guess, if you want that in your vocal performance. But, you know, to each his own. Let's go ahead and hear it, though.
Whatever you want, just run it by me, just run it by me. Whatever you need, lay that to a G, lay that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal, cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal, cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal, cause you got that whip appeal, you got that whip appeal.
The main ad lib is more of the same, of course. It's going to be a little louder than the second one. I usually call that an under. I know that's not really what people call it, but, you know, that's how you label it. But that's another thing, too. You want to make sure that you label your vocals and make sure that everything is where it needs to be. But with this, of course, I use about the same settings. So I also use Voicecentric on this one, but with a little less reverb, of course. I'm going to go ahead and tone down the reverb a little bit more so it doesn't drain everything out. And let's hear it.
Whatever you want, just run it by me. Whatever you need, leave that to a G. Cause you got that whip appeal. 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 Whatever you want.
So there you have it right there. Again, leave a comment below. Let me know if this was helpful to you. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. These tools that I picked out were very simple, and I really wanted to use these tools because, again, a lot of people overlook them and they could be doing stuff very easy as well as professional without doing a whole bunch of stuff. The home recording and studio recording is not as difficult as it was in the past. So it's time for you to take advantage of that. Let me know again of things that you want me to cover because it will help with the content over here.